Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You Movement. I am B. And today I want to talk a little bit about love, more importantly, self-love, and value. More importantly, self-value. So my awakening that you have been observing my transformation in real time over the last 3.5 years started actually 5 years ago when I had my wake-up call. And mission one was save yourself, because I was in a very, very bad way and I needed to get healthy in order to escape from an abusive marriage. Mission number two, and although there's been many submissions along the way, is my tagline, which is learn to love the fuck out of yourself. That mission came about when I first had soul recognition and had this crazy wackadoodle wake-up call from a Kundalini activated by a twin flame situationship. So, on this mission to A, save myself, and B, learn to love the fuck out of myself, it has been a very difficult, arduous path. The mission of learning to love yourself when you've spent the majority of your life in an energy of self-loathing and believing all of the lies that had been indoctrinated into you and programmed into you, that you were unworthy, that I was trash, that I was a fuck up, that I was a fool, that I was, unlovable, because I was told these things. I was a difficult person. The list goes on and on and on. And so how do you love something that you despise? That's a tricky thing to do. And it's all kind of intertwined in this very bizarre twin flame situationship, because you meet somebody and you're like, oh, that's what love is. He is what love is. It's an externalized version of love. And you think that when I have that, when I have him, when I can, meet this divine union point, then I will know love and then I will be happy. But like most of spiritual life lessons, it's never as obvious or as direct as that. And it's usually a little bit of a riddle. I sometimes joke that I think my spirit team is like the directors of that show, Jackass, and I'm the jackass. And many times when I get an aha, it's like I can hear the angelic realm laughing their asses off at me. And so there's some frivolity happening in the ethers tonight as I've reached a new aha. And yesterday was a really icky vibe kind of day, as I was seeing things in a whole new perspective. And oftentimes, truth first hits you with ick, disgusting, gross, putrid, revolting. No, this is and then it transforms to aha. Okay, I get it. Yes, seeing it for what it is now, and so there was a major breakthrough that required some icky moments. And well, birth is pretty icky. So as we're rebirthing ourselves, it's been 3.5 very long years of being sequestered in spirit womb in my room, I even painted my room a womb color because I was like, this is my rebirthing suite. So it's that terracotta color that you can see. I'm like, it's my womb room. Because God had sequestered me into isolation and into hermiting as more and more people got peeled away from my life. And you resist that. It's not fun. A spiritual awakening is lonely. I've certainly done a lot of videos on loneliness and facing your loneliness, and it's difficult to process through the amount of grief with the losses that you go through, even though in retrospect those losses were for your highest and greatest good. It's not like they took my son away from me. Physically he's moved away, but that relationship, I think, would have I would have waved the flag and said, okay, I'm done. But the other relationships that broke away from my life, one after another, like, I mean, like, it was a mass exodus. It was crazy. The person that I was and the type of people that I attracted into my life are not people that I would want in my life now. And everyone that has left, I see the lesson that was attached to it. So I got tested along the way often. And I'm talking about all of this as a little bit of a backdrop because, you get told on this journey, you need to learn to love yourself. And only when you love yourself will you obtain this magical carrot that's been dangled in front of you called, divine love. And you're like, oh, I must have it. In chasing after that, and there is I use the word chasing because I was very much in chase energy for a very long time. In being in this chase energy, I have said on many videos how grateful I am because it gave me the motivation to escape from this horrific marriage that I was in. And yes, that is true, and I'm not negating that. But the one person I have failed to really give the credit for, because as external people are leaving and external definitions of love are dismantling, and external connections that oftentimes in my life were codependent in nature, toxic, dysfunctional, as all of these mirrors around you disappear, because everyone, most definitely your twin, which I call a mirror soul, but everyone that you meet is a mirror of sorts that mirrors back to you. This isn't just like a solitary occurrence. It's a collective energies and when you start to see how triggers are influencing you to do shadow work and do healing work and go within, and what is it in this situation that I'm supposed to be learning, and I'm supposed to be learning boundaries, and I'm supposed to be learning to recognize signs. This is a test to trust my intuition. Like, it's been one test after another test as I've had multiple interactions with people, and from all situations, friendships, business situations, romantic situations of the past, the marriage that crumbled and fell apart. So all of these people that have come in and gone out again have all come with magical lessons, and it's kind of like on a video game. I use video games as a reference because I know it's really popular out there, but because my son's really into them, and I would sit and watch him play. And there's always like these side characters that you have to go and exchange something with to up level, or you have to go and like, go talk to so-and-so, and then they tell you a vital piece of information of where you need to go. So here in the game of life, I've had to meet with people, travel with them for a period of time, and disband. And in so doing, I was learning many, many, many lessons. I've learned to let go. And not hold on when the time comes that something needs to end. It needs to end, and that was a challenging lesson, because I like to hold on to people. People, I have said in many videos, I think, were my number one addiction. And so to learn to heal that addiction has been the biggest on this quest. I've learned to erect boundaries. Some boundaries with people are like insanely thick, and some boundaries are less than, but still I implement boundaries as needed. I've had small little tests and big tests. Like my ex is no contact blocked. There's no access to me whatsoever. And then will be like a little person will come in and like info dump half an hour worth of text messages on me, or voice messages on me. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not something that is going to work for me. So I'm going to erect a boundary and learn that, okay, that's not something that, so little boundaries, big boundaries, communicating boundaries. I've learned to see. I've learned to see when something feels off, and to observe behaviors. I did a post the other day on red flags, green flags. So I'm very observant now of red flags, green flags. And when I see flags, I don't ignore them anymore. I don't shut down my own security center. I pay attention to everything, which includes like intuition, and learning to trust my intuition along this path has come at a price. Oftentimes, when we make mistakes, there's a price to be paid, and sometimes it's monetary, and sometimes it's going, oops, I really made a huge mistake. So I'm going to tell you a funny story there. Before I tell you this funny story, I just want to say, when you're learning karmic lessons, I want to throw this out. Be aware there is often a price tag involved. I call it the get out of jail tax. Remember the game Monopoly? Sometimes you had to pay $100 to get out of jail. So when you're in a really tricky situation and you're like, they owe me money, or I'm going to sue them, or just don't. That's sometimes you need to suck it up and pay for it. I had to suck up and pay for my divorce. I had to suck up and pay for multiple situations with friends that took money that shouldn't have taken money from me. But I was like, just whatever, just take it. If it's going to cost me $1,000 to have peace, I'll pay the $1,000 for that. But my funny story of not listening to your intuition and getting, screwed financially, as well as, this is a huge mess up, is, I have a phoenix tattoo on my chest. I was very excited about getting my phoenix tattoo because, it was an energy that represented me on this journey. And I had been following this tattoo artist for, I don't know, a decade. I thought her use of color was phenomenal. I'm obsessed with tattoos. I absolutely love tattoos. Maybe one day I'll do a video of all my tattoos, because I have a lot of tattoos and they're all spiritual and they all have profound meaning for me. So they may not make any sense to you, like my red string that goes up my arm. People might look at that and go like, what? But anyways, that's a different tattoo. I'm talking about my phoenix. So I arranged with this artist who was very expensive out of Toronto to get this phoenix tattoo. She sent me the templates and I was like, okay, yes, I'll go in and talk to her about it. And so my first session with her, I walked in the door and she worked out of her home and had her tattoo studio in her house. And I was like, ick. I got an ick right away. And dogs were jumping up on me. The place was clearly not as sterile as I would have liked. She was like, we're going to do a little bit of this freehand. It's going to take at least 4 sittings. And I was like, okay. I did not listen to my intuition. My intuition was going, get the fuck out of here as quickly as possible. But I was like, I already paid my deposit and I'm here now. It took me 2.5 hours to get here. So I lay down and she proceeded to do the body part of the Phoenix. And I have a lot of tattoos. I've never been in as much pain in my entire life. She was like so heavy leaning into my chest and like, I mean, grinding me down, like doing your sternum is painful. Like she was grinding into me something fierce. I'm pretty sure that my ribs themselves are tattooed. And tears were coming from my eyes because it was too much. And she got really angry and upset with me and it was like, right, we're stopping. And so she had done 2 hours worth of work. I was supposed to have a 3-hour sitting. And she's like, that's done, we're done. And so then a bunch of emails started going back and forth. And I was like, okay, after having this experience, I would like to adjust the design so that maybe we don't need as many hours. Can we, make it a little more girly, a little more flowy, a little less dense? And she just started bullying me, like just bullying me. Now, I grew up with a bully. My mother was a bully, and I was triggered beyond belief. And I was like, right, I know I'm going to lose my deposit, but I'm done. I'm done with you. This is a hard no. So I'd lost money. I had a partially done tattoo that looked, and I joked. I joked that I got a cock between my tits. Excuse the language. Because that's what it looked like. It looked like an unfinished rooster. See, you can laugh at it after the ick. After the lesson, you can laugh. But while you're in the lesson, it's not so funny. So I did manage to find a tattoo artist locally that specializes in messed up tattoos and cover-ups. And so the tattoo ended up costing me like way more money than I had originally like budgeted for, and but it's finished now, and I absolutely like adore my Phoenix here. No longer looks like a cock between my tits. So that's a funny story, but the point is you're learning lessons all the way along this, and learning how to deal and interact with people, and how to learn to deal and interact with yourself. So this quest, and of course, when this happened, I went through a really difficult cycle of like beating myself up. Oh my God, you're so dumb. You made a mistake. You're like, this is ridiculous. Now you're like, I mean, the self-loathing program reactivated, and ego had a heyday for that for a long while. But luckily, it eventually calmed itself down, and as an end result, I'm very, very pleased with the work that I got done. So it's beautiful. It goes all the way down to my belly button, and it's pretty sexy. Anyways, on with the story of the quest to come back into self-love. So all of these lessons have been coming up and coming up and coming up, and all the way along, it's like using the reference of these external people and external situations to learn more about self. to learn what works for me, what doesn't work for me, what I have the right to, what I'm allowed to say, what I'm not allowed to say, which is at this point nothing. I'm gonna say the truth. I used to be scared to say the truth because of how it would affect people, and they won't like me. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna get hate mail for this one, or somebody's gonna say something really nasty. And I bought a book called The Courage to be Disliked, and I read about a chapter of it, but so don't buy that book necessarily. I kind of feel like the title morphed into me, and just having the title around going, just have the courage to be disliked, was like another lesson. Because on this path, as I've peeled the layers away, exposing more and more of my authentic self, strangely enough, the people that attacked me and were like against me were my own family. Another thing I laugh at, because it's so nonsensical to me that a bunch of people that have never ever been there for me, never wished me happy birthday, never had no knowledge of what was happening in my household, the abuse that was going on, had the audacity to insult me because in the middle of my awakening, in desperation, because of so many things happening, I reached out to these strangers that call themselves family, literally pleading. Talk about that essay I mentioned. I would have to write an essay to justify my needs of something, and I was responded with how deeply flawed a human being I was, and a whole bunch of thumbs down on my YouTube. Okay, what, really? Okay. And so, yes, you will, as you step more and more into yourself, have people point the finger out at you and call you names and call you things, and be kind of nasty to you, friends, family. And, it's that old adage, one finger pointing is three fingers pointing back. More and more and more, I started to recognize when people accused me of things or of being something, they were confessions. They were 100% revealing who they were as a person, and it had really nothing to do with me. So I stopped taking ownership of it. I looked at it like when people are insulting you or criticizing you or being judgmental in any way, shape, or form, which is also an energy I grew up in my whole life. And as I said, we get programmed to believe we're trash because people are throwing stuff at us all the time, names and disappointment and shame and all these energies they're throwing at you. And I kind of look at it now in the awareness of being a light worker, that it's like we shine just our existence. Okay, you don't have to do anything, say anything. You just have to walk into a room with certain people, and it's like you're emanating a light that gets in their eyes, and then they're like feral animals that are caught in the light, like a rabid frigging monkey or something trapped in the corner. And what do animals do when they're trapped in a corner and feeling threatened? It is they throw shit at you. They hiss at you. They're like, so now I'm just like, okay, whoa, step away from the rabid creature throwing nonsense at me. Just because somebody throws shit at you and calls you names and is sarcastic or has backhanded compliments or is accusatory or any of these types of energies, don't pick it up and own it. Don't pick it up and say, this is me. Don't define yourself by how other people define you. That was another really powerful lesson that I've learned along this path is I don't pick up other people's projections anymore. If you want to think I'm crazy, go right ahead. I don't care. I know how to do boundaries now, and I know how to do me now. But this learning path, this hero's journey, this walking through this landscape of dismantling relationship in all forms of it, and learning to be in solitude and to learn to love the fuck out of myself has been insane, because what I wanted most in my entire life was to be loved. I wanted that more than anything. From the time I was in elementary school, please love me. Please, from my first crush, a lovely little Jewish boy named Ryan, in I think grade 1 or something like that. From my first crush to my first, actual batting the eyelashes of, maybe he would hold my hand, and to all the relationships, all of the behaviors, all of everything I ever did, the fundamental underneath it was I just want to be loved. It was not an energy I had ever experienced. My birth parents abandoned me and gave me up for adoption at the age of 2.5. And I'm not saying it's easier to be abandoned at age 2 weeks. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Wasn't my experience, so I don't know. But 2.5, and then to be in an environment that a narcissistic mother had the incapacity to love. It wasn't her fault that she didn't know how. She never received it herself, so she just couldn't. You can't get mad at, it's game of go fish. Do you have any twos? No? Okay, go fish. So my situation was, do you have any love? No? Okay, go fish. So I spent the rest of my life fishing. I'm going to fish here. Oh, okay. If I dress a certain way, I'm going to get a certain attention. Is this love? Yeah, no, that wasn't love. If that cleavage and the makeup, and am I going to get love now? Do you love me now? No, that wasn't love. If I hang with the boys and drink the beer and be like a tomboy, is that going to get me the love? No, that didn't get me the love either. If I'm going to morph myself into the definition of what you want, okay, you're kind of hippie-ish. Yeah, I can do hippie. I'll try that one on for size. I'll do these activities that you like to do. I'll morph myself, mask myself, transform myself, alter myself, twist myself. I'll do whatever it takes if that's going to get me some love and attention. Will the cool chick get me the attention? Will the rebel? Will the vixen? Will the, all these different archetypical energies? I'm going to try whatever I'm going to try. How about the mother? Is that going to get me love? Well, it didn't get me the love from my son's father. He left me 3 weeks before I gave birth. So that didn't work. It is being the wife, the cook, the cleaner. Are those going to get me the love? No, those did not get me the love either. So I spent my entire life, the underlying motivation for every single thought, action, behavior was, will it get me love? Will I be loved? And how can I numb, repress all the pain and the suffering and the grief of not getting the love, of not getting the respect, of not getting the attention, the validation, and so then it became negotiable. Okay, what am I willing to negotiate with people so that I can get some love? Okay, so you can show up to me in validation. You can give me validation. Okay, sure. I'll give you extra Reiki treatments. I'll give you, extra attention. I'll do this. I'll buy you that because you give me this one thing. And you over here, okay. You give me some fun and some occasional attention. And occasionally I'll hear from you. So I'll sacrifice these needs and these needs and these needs because you give me one piece of the pie. And maybe if I just make a collection of people that each give me one piece of the pie, then I'll feel like I have a whole pie. and you over here, oh my God, you love bomb the crap out of me. This feels fantastic. Oh my God, yes, 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 love bomb, love bomb, love bomb. And then breadcrumb, breadcrumb. But I remember, I remember that love bombing. I'm just going to nibble on this breadcrumb and hope that if I fix this, if I work harder, if I put in more time, more energy, more everything, then maybe that love bomb will come back again. Maybe that energy that I was teased with at the beginning will come back again. Only it doesn't. It doesn't. The breadcrumbing gets less and less and less and less, and it's this fuckery that is no longer you fishing. It's you are the fish, you are the hook, and you are being reeled in and let loose again, and reeled in, psych, let loose again. But you never are off the hook. There's an expression in Ireland called being kept on the long finger, which means a partner, a prospective partner that you're interested in hooks you and then pulls you in a little bit, but doesn't pull you in all the way. So it's like you're trolling behind the back of a boat. You don't get to be caught into the net. You don't get to come onto the boat. You're just on the hook being like trolled behind. That's why I have all these teeth problems. I've been on the hook too many times. So I had to free myself. Oh, this is a good one. I had to free myself from the hook by losing a couple of teeth. Aha! Get out of jail tax. So now we're not only losing money with the get out of jail tax, we're losing body parts as well. I don't care. If this continues to get better since the extraction, and the pain is going down a little bit at a time, and I'm still doing 101 healing modalities for it. So we'll see what the ear, nose, throat specialist has to say in March. But then maybe an oral surgeon. I don't know. The point being is life became a series of negotiations in order to attempt to obtain love. And I mean, I would go above and beyond for people. I would help them clean their house and never get paid for it, or we'll exchange and then never get the exchange. I would show up for people when they needed extreme things, and I was like, and my turn now. So on this crazy wackadoodle journey that we are on, there's been always this continual longing for this mythical carrot, as I've said. And I don't know what's happened in the last week or so. I went through another round of insane dark night of the soul when those planetary alignment was happening. Didn't like that. And it was this like something was like being born out of my heart chakra, and then when it was born out, it was like a giant fur ball of icky, ugly, I don't want this. I'm reevaluating some of this stuff that I have previously been like, enthralled, because I think that when you have been raised in an environment with a lot of trauma, and your perception of what you think love is or love looks like, and you've settled your whole life for bits and pieces and breadcrumbs, that certain things look like the best thing ever. And when you actually take the illusion away, to take off the rose-colored glasses, look behind the curtain, what you see is not necessarily what you thought was there. And then you have to sit with yourself and say, okay, if it's my perceptions that are so skewed, what else am I seeing so skewed? And what am I not looking at? And what you're not looking at is yourself and your self-perception and your self-awareness, because all of these are mirroring back to you truths about yourself and truths about situations. So yesterday and the day before, it's like I've been getting hit in the head with anvils as Spirit shows me more and more truth of what is hidden behind the curtain. And I was like, ooh, gross. Ooh, gross. But I was also, because seeing truth for what it is means that you can redirect and see yourself for what you truly are. And that's what the energy has made me do. And it's made me see my own value for probably the first time ever in my life, in knowing that the love that I am seeking in others has existed in me my whole life. My capacity to love. I have yet to meet a solitary person that can match my energy. I have yet to meet a person that can keep up with my energy of what I've accomplished. And I've given so much credit and gratitude to those outside of myself. And it's not like I'm taking the credit away, but I'm taking some of the credit away and putting my own name on this journey. Because yes, somebody acted as a catalyst for me on this, but it was me that did all of the work. It was me that had the strength to survive 5 years of absolute insanity. It was me that fixed my posture, not a chiropractor. It was me that healed all of my health conditions, not a doctor. It was me that lost the weight, not a nutritionist. It was me that did the deep dive into the shadow work, not a psychologist or a counselor. I do have a trauma psychologist, and she's worked very well to help validate and bring me back to myself. She is a transpersonal therapy recommended. So I got her after I reported my ex through victim services, but I see her once a month, and she's just like, yep, you're doing a good job. Keep going. So it's been me that's done the shadow work. It's been me that's showed up for myself in the worst of the worst as I lay in my bed praying to God. Spirit showed up as well. So I will give credit to Spirit for sure. It was me that held my own hand. It was me that stroked my head and reparented myself. It was me that comforted myself through the worst emotions ever. It was me that kept going when I didn't have the capacity to keep going, but I kept going anyways. It was me that did the yoga. It was me that did the breath work. It was me that did the trigger point therapy. It was me that did the massage. It was me. 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 Which has shown me that my value, despite being told I was incapable, and I laugh because the absolute folly of it. In 5 years' time, I've cured 95% of my health conditions. I've quit smoking, drinking, cannabis, microdosing, pharmaceuticals, sugar, gluten, dairy. I've completely transformed myself. So it was me. It was me all along that had the capacity to love people at a depth that they couldn't match. It was me that had the adventurous spirit that others in my past couldn't keep up with. You know, relationships dissolved because I was like, let's do this, let's ascend, let's climb, let's be better, let's work on ourselves. And people couldn't keep up with myself. And the more I went on adventures in life and lived in Japan, and I lived in Ireland, and I, lived in this city and lived in this city and traveled here by myself and going on all these crazy adventures. It was me. It was me that was strong. It was me. And the more I shone and the more strength that I had, others didn't like it. And they tried to bring me down. They tried to make me less. They tried to make me smaller. They tried to outright destroy me. What my ex-husband did, and he has a massive debt that he needs to pay to God, because I've given anybody that I have done good things to and has responded me with nastiness. I got no problem with you. I have no beef with you. I've given all of my debts to the collection agency known as Spirit. So take it up with them. It's not something that I'm wasting my time with. I'm not holding on to resentment or energies like that. I was deeply, deeply, deeply hurt. And I've grieved those hurts. And I've comforted and soothed myself that was hurt for all the people that tried to pull me down, and all the people that just outright ignored me. I would reach out to people asking for help, and I would be completely and utterly ignored. I think ignoring another human being is probably one of the rudest things that somebody can do. And there's 1,000,001 excuses that people can come up with, and I don't care about the excuses. I don't. I think it's rude. And I'm entitled to my opinion. And I'm also entitled to say rudeness, no thanks. I deserve more than that. I spent my entire life trying to prove myself worthy enough, good enough, smart enough, funny enough, thin enough, attractive enough. And why? Why? I know what I am. I know I am all of those things and more. And if somebody doesn't have the capacity to see me, that's their lack. That's not my lack. It's not my lack because somebody doesn't have the capacity to show up, to be the type of person that I wish that they were, that I saw they had the potential to be. I'm great at seeing people's potential. I am absolutely great at seeing people's potential. I always have been. I can see the best in everyone. But now I can also see the worst. And it's okay. It's okay, but that you have the best and the worst. I'd rather be in an energy where I can see both, and I can also see my best and my worst. I know what I've done and what I haven't done and what I wish I had done. And, I've had all those conversations with self. So I'm in an energy today of loving the fuck out of myself and saying, God damn it, girl. Like, serious to God. What I've accomplished in 5 years is miraculous. And just because somebody else can't do that, or doesn't want to do that, that's not my problem. It's not my business. It's not my business. I am so fine, self-contained, no longer grasping, chasing, needing, wanting anything outside of me. I can give it to myself. Seriously, I can give it to myself. Yes, my arms feel a little tight when I'm hugging myself continuously. And there's been times when I thought I might pull my shoulders out of joint. Somebody wants to invent a hugging machine. That'd be really useful. Okay, all this AI technology, go. Somebody invent a machine that can just hug you. That would be wonderful for a lot of people, because I think that's what people miss the most, is they miss the hugs. But I don't miss I don't miss arguments. I don't miss chaos. I don't miss confusion. I don't miss where do I stand with this person or not that person. I don't miss any of the bullshittery. And there's so much bullshittery. And go do your bullshittery elsewhere. Go blow smoke up somebody else's buttocks. I'm happy in my own sphere. For the first time in my life, I love the fuck out of myself. I value the fuck out of myself. If people can't see my value, that's their problem, not my problem. It's just once you finish grieving the sadness that people lack the capacity to show up for you the way you wish they could, or had you know they have the capacity to, but just are too lazy or too weak or too like, whatever, go do you. Good luck with that. Peace out. I'm gonna do me. And if God wants me to live in a little bubble and be a hermit and play with bunny rabbits in my garden and my cat, I'll be a crazy cat lady. That's fine. I got enough every single day of new people coming into my sphere, reflecting back to me who I really am for the first time in my life. Soul tribe. Seriously, there's nothing better. There's absolutely nothing better. So if you're in the loneliness, and if you're in the grief, and you're in the doubting your worth and self-loathing and self-criticism, go back and watch some of my other videos and see who I used to be and see where I came from, because you can get here too. You can 100% get here too. You can learn to love the fuck out of yourself. It starts with the negative self-talk and trying to control your own, because that is just a recording. That's all it is. It's not real. It's like somebody at one point in time made a recording, and I guarantee it's probably one of your primary caregivers, and made a recording saying you're not enough, you're a mistake, you are a fuck up, you are a failure, you're none of those things. That's just a recording. So just try to mute it the best you can by listening to one of my awesome Spotify playlists. I have great playlists. Music is huge to me. So listen to the original Unfuckening Movement playlist that I created that's all uplifting songs to get me out and get walking. You know, just pick one thing about yourself that you can work on. And then when you do that, move on to the next one. You only have to do one at a time, one step at a time, one thing at a time. And eventually you're like, God damn it, look what I've done. If you do one thing every single day towards making your life a little bit better, your life is going to transform. It may not happen in 3 months. It may not happen noticeably even in a year. But in 5 years, I've been at this. Look at my before and after photos. Listen to my before and my now messages. It is unreal. It is unreal to learn to love the fuck out of yourself. It is unreal to finally, after 4 decades of being told you're trash, to be finally aware that I'm not trash. I'm worth so much that nobody can afford me. Seriously, I see myself as such a rare diamond that's been dug out, that is now in a museum in plexiglass with like those little velvet ropes wrapped around, and a security guard standing by, and a moat around the building with little elves on the roof with turrets and bows and arrows, and a bloody dragon ready to blow away anybody that comes and tries to get from me anything that they can't afford anymore. Talk about dragon. getting my new tattoo, hopefully finished soon, which is my my dragon tattoo, so I can too be a girl with a dragon tattoo, cause I'm worth it, and that's me. I'm badass, just like her. I don't know if you've seen that movie. I don't know if I'd be able to see that movie anymore, but she was definitely one of my inspiring characters that I have used on my hero's path. Lisbeth, she's badass. Now there is a badass woman character. Also, you can read the books. Amazing woman. So yes, I too am going to be a girl with a dragon tattoo, and I'm embodying dragon and fire energy today and saying no more. No more minimization, no more insults, no more caring what other people think or caring what other people can or cannot do. I am so blessed because and I have so much gratitude for me, for my discipline, my perseverance, my strength, my never giving up through 5 years of hell, 5 years of absolute hell. And I am so grateful for the mass exodus that occurred in my life, because detaching from absolutely every single cord that bind me. Yes, I love it. Talk about a good song. Whatever It Takes by Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons, there you go. Whatever It Takes. That was a theme song for me through a large portion of my awakening, and the lyric goes, I will do whatever it takes. And you too can do whatever it takes to see your value, because you are as valuable as I am. I'm not more valuable than you, but you go build your own moat and your own, hire your own security team to keep yourself safe, and see yourself for what you truly are. Because when you start to see yourself for what you truly are, it's mind-blowing. And that's just it. Your mind gets blown because your ego's like lost completely control. Because your ego believed all those records. Your ego liked to play that old record. And now my ego is been beaten to a pulp. And I'm like, sit down. Sit down. You are the co-pilot. Soul is in charge, and I'm not believing those old nonsensical lies anymore, because I have finally obtained what I have sought my entire life, which is love. Mine. All of my love out to you and to every single one of you, because my love it is a bottomless pit. It just keeps going and going and going. So I have enough love to share with all the 8 billion plus people on the planet. I can love every single one of you. Doesn't mean you get to come near my moat. You don't all get to come in here, but some of you do. Some might get to come in for little visits and tea and chats, but yes, bottomless pit of love that is endless, infinite. For all that's happened to me in my life, for me to still be able to love people, that is some godly shit, is what that is. Peace and love to everyone.